Hey everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon here now, and it's a very cold, wet, horrible day before Christmas Eve, the eve of Christmas Eve. And not so much this year, because although places are open to go and celebrate, and I suppose people will still go to visit relatives, as we do over the Christmas period. But maybe not quite as bad as in years when everybody could go out and they're celebrating and office parties and what have you. And there always used to be a spate of road traffic accidents, people driving or driving whilst under the influence of something. And it's abhorrent to me. It really is, and it was brought home to me one day last week, when a family member, a friend of this family member, his daughter and her boyfriend had been involved in a road traffic accident. They were just on their way home from somewhere. I think there may have been a little bit of speeding going on, I don't know. I'm not sure whether there was any alcohol involved on the other party's part, I don't know. All I do know is that both the girl, the man's daughter, and her boyfriend were both killed. And I've had to try and put it out of my mind, because some things just don't bear thinking about, do they? Because they're too awful. And my niece was saying to me that how would he get over something like that, this man? I'm not going to say names. How could he possibly get over something like that? His daughter being killed, her boyfriend being killed, but obviously when, only the previous day or the day before that he'd been laughing and joking with people in the office, and now he probably will never be able to laugh and joke again. Not like that, anyway. His whole life, for the sake of those 5 minutes, if that, in time, his whole life, and that of his family, and of the boyfriend's family too, their lives have been turned upside down, never to be the same again. And as I say, some things don't bear thinking about, because they are too awful. They will prey on your mind, as it has done with me, and even though you've decided in your wisdom that you're never going to go down the road again of what if this, what if that, but you do. And if is just such a ridiculous word, what if. You could live your life around what if and never really have a life, because you'd be too frightened to do anything. You'd be too frightened to allow your kids to do anything. You'd wrap them up in cotton wool, if you could, in a bubble, and keep them there so that they wouldn't have a life. They'd have an existence, but they wouldn't have a life. But going back to this accident now, a young woman and a young man have both lost their lives. I don't know what happened to the driver of the other vehicle, and honestly I didn't ask because I was too engrossed, if you like, getting my head round the awfulness of this thing that had happened. So I didn't ask about the other driver. I didn't ask had anybody been drinking. I didn't ask whose fault it was. All I know is that this accident has happened and 2 lives have been lost. So what I wanted to say in this video is to anybody, you know, be careful. If you're driving yourself, be careful that you don't take that 1 extra drink. Be careful that you don't drive if you're unduly stressed about something and therefore your mind can't be on the job of focusing on the road. Don't take any substances if you're going to be driving. Drive only if you're able to focus fully on the task at hand, which is getting from A to B safely and making sure that anybody who is coming towards you gets, you know, from A to B where they need to be safely. It's you can say that, you know, if people want to put their own lives at risk, let them do it. It isn't as simple as that, is it? Never is. Because they're not only putting their own lives at risk, they're putting other people's lives at risk, and they're also putting the whole life of anybody who loves them at risk, because everything's going to be turned upside down in people's world. There's no excuse for drink driving. There's no excuse for driving while you've been inhaling or have taken substances. There's no excuse for driving when you're so stressed and your head's aching so much that you're in a tailspin. Get a taxi or don't go out. See so much on YouTube recently, and people who are making a lot of money on YouTube, and I'm not just on about one person here, but people who are making a lot of money through their bad behaviours and doing things that puts their life at risk, actually. And I'm not thinking about who you think I might be thinking about, if that makes sense. I'm thinking about somebody different now. But, you know, you get fools who will say, well, I'm not going to live very long, so I may as well live the high life while I'm still young, because I've got a feeling I'm not going to live very long. Well, that's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? Because if you don't feel that you're going to live very long, the chances are that you're not going to live very long. The way you go on dates with people you don't know and pick up strangers and do all the rest of it, that's not living. That isn't living. That's losing your self-respect. That's throwing your life away. It's throwing your happiness down the drain. And it's upsetting those who love you. Don't do it. And keep away from your bloody cars, those of you who have them. If you feel that you've got to have that extra drink or that extra cigarette, whatever it is, or you've stormed out after an argument, do not get in that car. Don't get a taxi, please. And just to finish this up now, I know you don't know the person concerned, and I don't know the person concerned. It's family members who do. But, you know, if you can remember in your prayers, grieving, people who are grieving tonight for loved ones who've been lost, unnecessarily lost, just through silly accidents, twist of fate. I believe that prayers are heard. I do. I'll be back tomorrow. Bye-bye.